Well, I think early on we ran good offense, made some shots, and defensively we were not solid in terms of blocking out. They were making plays, touching the paint. And then we made some subs, and the guys really stood in there. That's why it's so important, your depth. I thought Marco, Braxton, Mamadi gave us a good lift defensively, and then we got on track. But you needed to. We knew there was going to be runs in the game, and there's enough plays made. And, again, I was really happy for Jack and Kihei and Braxton. I thought they gave us good lifts down the stretch.
Tony, Maryland had 26 paint points in the first half, and you made adjustments. What were they to limit them to 8 in the second?
Don't let them score in the paint. It was that simple. No, it's just like challenge the guys. Say that too easy. They were doing some tricky stuff on the ball screens. They were taking advantage of our aggressiveness. So then we decided to say, all right, if they're not setting it, they're faking the screen, the ball screen, and dropping back in. Let's just not go out as much and put 2-on-1. So we tried to make adjustments there. I think Jack challenged himself, and other guys did, and we tightened our pack defense. We thought that was important, and guys guarded on the ball better. I thought, again, Kihei made some tough defensive slides that were real big, and they hit some tough shots at the end, but it was enough. And we took care of the ball. I don't want to minimize that because they can get out and run. And our ability to only have 2 turnovers and not give them any loose ball or live ball turnovers, I think, was a big storyline.
Over to the right, Mike, and then David.
Obviously, Jack had some work to do on the defensive end. That offensively, though, he gave you kind of a lift too. What did his putbacks and those points do for you guys?
Well, Bruno's such a good shot blocker. He's so athletic, and he goes after stuff. So when shot blockers go after it, if you can get it on the rim, there's going to be open lanes or alleys to the glass, and Jack was all over that. And, again, he had his career high. And, he did do some good things defensively. He played against Ethan Happ, and I'd like to see you banging with the guy out there and see what you think. But I thought he was aggressive and tough, but I'll tell him you said he didn't do a good job defensively, so okay.
David.
Tony, you mentioned the lack of turnovers. Your only 2 tonight were offensive fouls.
Right.
And they pressed you late. How impressed were you with the way you handled, especially the full court pressure?
Pretty good. We had a couple near misses, but, when I had that lineup of DeAndre and Braxton and Kihei and Ty and Kyle, all those guys are guard-type players and can handle the ball, so that helped. And we made pretty good plays, and they're good at a one hard trap and done, and then they kept a couple. But we again had a nice play, and I thought it was an impressive play in transition when we scored that we needed to break that press just enough.
Jeff mentioned that this is the first time this group has been in an environment like that, but you have so many players that have played in crunch time, in tough places, in tough times. How comforting as a coach to just have that amount of experience on the floor is
Right.
it? Because it's kind of unusual.
Yeah, I think that's our formula. It always has been to get guys and get them to their upperclassmen years. And those experiences, there's no substitute for playing in the games that Ty and Kyle and DeAndre and Jack have played in. And that's why the young guys, how Kihei's standing in there and his steady is, I think, very promising. But that experience is important because it is a different feel. Usually that first road game in the challenge, all the teams that went on the road, Nebraska beat Clemson. I don't know how the games went tonight, but it takes something, especially the first time. I'd like to say the Bahamas was a road trip. I don't think it was. It was a road trip, but it wasn't an away game with that many fans that are so polite all game. So that was the first.
Doug.
I feel like Kyle gave you a little bit of a cushion with his
Certainly.
first-class performance.
With his first half performance, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought because we weren't defending as well, they were getting in the paint and hurting us. I thought Kyle was terrific. He's got such a gift when he's on to move without the ball, the quick release. And we found him and guys moved hard, but he certainly helped us absorb some of our defensive deficiencies, and I thought that was big.
Jeff.
Are Kyle and Ty in particular unusual in how they kind of like to play on the road the way they do, and they seem to enjoy the hostile environments as much as they do playing at home?
I think they're better athletes than people would give them credit for, but they rely on their mind, their skill, and their mental discipline, and that's got to be there. And they, again, the experience you asked about that they have is important. They played in some tough situations and took some lumps as first years, as second years, and even, that's part of it. But usually those experiences help form what you got, and so those two definitely have they're not afraid of the moment. That's maybe too strong a word, but they're they're okay in it and they know who they are, and we're continuing to forge that in our team and in our whole each player.
In the back, Josh.
Hey, Tony, over here. DeAndre had a few big dunks tonight,
did.
especially one over Bruno. How meaningful was this game for him, playing a big stage and play as well as he did?
Yeah, I mean, DeAndre is continuing to improve. He's played in big games before. He had a really good tournament in the Bahamas, and I thought he did some really good things. You saw his athleticism. He's a complete player. And, again, those plays ignited us. We needed those. Those were impressive plays, certainly, and because he's such a shot blocker. If you don't go hard at the rim and try to, attack like that, you'll be on your back, and they'll be going the other way for a layup because he's such a good shot blocker. So I like the way he attacked and almost beat him to the rim a couple times with the dunk, and that's what you have to do.
Okay, take two more, David and then Mike.
Tony, DeAndre's dunks, yes, but in the final minute he had 2 block shots.
Yes.
How improved is he on that?
Was
end?
that him or Braxton on that at the end? Huh? Braxton,
But-
okay, yeah, but he did.
DeAndre had one
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, his length and versatility, whether it's guarding a 4 or a 3. In losing Isaiah last year, Isaiah would come out of nowhere and just come and get shots, and I love that when I see these guys who are alert, either off the ball or if it was on the ball. I'm not sure which ones you're referring to. On? Off, yeah. That's kind of an anticipation and going to get it, and sometimes you just need plays to be made. You can't always, again, guys are so talented individually, you got to bring guys over, and that can be the difference in a possession game.
Since I'm not just picking on Jack, Mamadi's 3 fouls in the 2-minute stretch. What do you say to him after a stretch like that? And I imagine you were trying to get him out before he got that last one.
Yeah, we had a sub in. We'll watch the tape and see. And, again, it's the discipline to not grab. We had a different action on. We called a play, and maybe it didn't get relayed to him, but he got that. And that seems to be a little bit of pattern for Mamadi. Mamadi's talented, and I just want him to play really hard. He's still new to the game. I know he's in his 3rd year, but he's newer to the game than most kids, young men, because he picked it up. He's going to continue to give us good stuff, and he's going to keep getting better. But that's discipline, hands off, locking in, and with the rule emphasis, you can pick up quick ones in a hurry.